tractors coming in here? Hope so. Hopefully most are coming in. I heard there was a lot in last year, it got a bit chaotic, but somebody said it might have been cancelled. Hopefully it's not cancelled, they've changed their mind. Some of the imports are out here. Here's the thoroughbred tractors here. The Fords, Fergusons, David Browns we're expecting, Marshall.
Just bear that one in mind. We've got a big
some very historic tractors from the 20s even. But the first tractors certainly
tell you most about every
mass production was after the war. With Fergie, Gardner,
basically. And I'd like to ask the winners to stay in and move into the middle.
Massive Ferguson, there we are, the Fergies.
So that's just a little bit of housekeeping.
Here at Hope Show. 25X there, a few of those today here, and the T20. Pristine condition there.
Into the arena then is the famous Ferguson T20.
They're all coming in
this
here.
One, the TD version, Tractor England, diesel.
There, the tractor he's talking about down there is that one there.
The Scottish Aviation Club,
T20 was very similar to these here now coming in.
Aluminium. Number 66. David Brown 990 Informatic, made of course at Melton Mills at Huddersfield, and with 1963 model with the A plate, and that one is owned and driven by Sandra Stiles. Number 65, a 950, which was the model before the 990, and that one owned by Mr. Carl Green.
The plough on the back there.
The best seller of any David Brown made.
Box on the back of that.
Browns were made of
Fordson.
From 1939 up until 19.
And there's the one he was talking about just then.
Tenatone case.
T20 with the cab.
Look them over. Then we move on to the German quality product, an MB truck.
Or not, shall we say? Not as good as the British anyway. Certainly didn't have the reach and revolution.
But Mercedes no longer import the MB track. They import the Unimog, but not the MB track. Then we move on to the World Series 4000 range, which was introduced for the Smithfield Show, December 1964, built in London, of course. And you'll notice the fluted bonnet of that tractor, a little bit like a Spitfire on the bonnet. And that's the largest of the models, the 5000 with 4-zone 4-cylinder diesel. And that is a 1966 one. 102, we've got Tim Smith with a 1919 Garner. And Garner was basically an American company, but then came over into England and were manufactured in Birmingham. You will have a look at that tractor. It is the oldest tractor on the field, 1919.
Very ugly, it's certainly not really going for the gates. Too wide.
Number 23, a 1964 Massey Ferguson 35X, complete with Massey Ferguson system, finger bar motor.
That's the main thing about these. The Ferguson system perfected on the early 50s tractors. Post-war tractors. Fergie, Harry Ferguson.
A winner last year, I think, or previous year, Mark Priestley, with a very nice original TA20. Complete with 2 for a plough. The advertising for the Great Fergie was always...
There's the 65.
in the 2 for a plough.
There we are, the revolutionary tractor there.
We've got a real lineup of these tractors.
Or the 165.
This one directly in front of me has been driven from Buxton this morning on the road, and it took an hour and a quarter. So well done to him. And then we see the next one there.
Certainly travelled a long way to them.
Come all the way from St Helens.
35.
And it's complete with the Ferguson system butterfly plough. The previous one has got the Ferguson system transport box, and the next one again with the Ferguson mounted 2 for a plough. Harry Ferguson never made a tractor himself. He always got somebody else to build them for him. He was an engineer of great acclaim. From 1936 to 39, David Brown built the Ferguson Model A. Unfortunately, we haven't one of those to see. And we see another one there.
Allis-Chalmers here.
1942 Fordson and or thereabouts, 42, 43, or even 44. The narrow wing model in totally original condition, owned by Mr. Paul Marsden. Then we see TX S530, the 1941
David Brown, Implementic.
complete with wide
880,
wings.
there we are. That's
Wide wings disappeared in 1942.
of course the success, the predecessor to Aston Martin, of course. David Brown being DB. Still used to this day, DB standing for David Brown.
Ferguson T20, complete with transport box, a bale of straw, and a sack
The
of
two
wheat.
colours for the brand, there we are. White and red, of course, to separate from Matthew Ferguson, of course. Not to be confused. 135.
2 of those introduced.
And the
in
165.
1951, and built, of course, by Standard Motor Company at Banner Lane, Coventry, as all the T20s were. Very, very useful tractor indeed, and produced for 5 years until 1956. Mr. Graham Cooper with number 14, near Radford in North Nottinghamshire, on the throne with a Ferguson. Number 15, MMA 976.
135.
Ferguson TD20, the pressure paraffin version again. And then we move on to the 4-cylinder 35. They were introduced
Fordson.
in grey and gold form in 1956.
Harley Mole there.
1958 in red and grey. And complete with a spray dry cab there. If you've got a cab in those days, you thought you'd got the world. Number 17 again, 4-cylinder 35.
And here comes the 590.
Any weather, but particularly in winter.
The big 590 moving on here in size. See the contrast.
In 1959 they changed over to the 3-cylinder Perkins engine from that 23C Ricardo 4-cylinder engine, and it transformed the tractor. They lost sales with the 4-cylinder model, and
The mower on the back there, the 590.
into the sales of the 4-cylinder 35. Then we see Graham Holmes all the way from Cupton near Chesterfield with a very nice massive
Dog looking on there.
65 Mark II multi-power, complete with Matthew Ferguson fertiliser spinner.
Another one coming in here, the 2720.
Fully restored, the spinner
Matthew Ferguson.
in original condition.
Even bigger here.
The registration 55 Bot, which is a Leicestershire registration.
With the plough on the back.
65
Yeah.
came out in 1957 in Mark I form with a Perkins 4192 engine. The Mark II came
And
out
that is a B-Reg. You wouldn't know it.
with the AD 203 engine.
Sure, when tractors getting bigger in the 80s.
So it was a lot better start. Thank you very much, Graham.
3095 now. I think this is 1990s.
970.
This is
DFW.
Around about what, mid-90s, 94, 95.
35X owned by Mr. Kevin Ray.
Fordson Major here.
The X stands for extras, of a bigger engine than the ordinary 35, with the 315 workings in, and a more comfortable seat, better dashboard, and diff lock standard. We see another 35X there. Introduced of course in 1962, this one 88158 is the 1963 version. And then we see Neville Fox. Again,
still more to come in here.
Another 35X, very popular tractor indeed, and with the Derbyshire registration
lining up there.
6176R, and of course there would be 9,999 registrations in that run from 1 to 9,999. And of course in December 64, the same as the worldwide 1000 range of Ford, the 100 series came out, and of course next year it will be their 60th anniversary. Number 92 is an Allis-Chalmers Model G, owned by Peter Henson, within very, very rough condition indeed. The engine is at the back there, and it has the mid-mounted finger bar mower on the right hand side, so that you could cut a field of hay, similar field to this, when the grass is a bit longer, and the driver can see exactly the crop that he's working in and the implement that he's on. The 193 is an Allis-Chalmers Model B, introduced in 1938
interesting
in America,
style cab there,
and came over in England in the 40s, in parts.
and here's the Allis-Chalmers.
Firstly at Tottenham, at Southampton, and then at Essendine in Stamford. And 95
The other one
is
being
Mr.
in
Richard Brown's
the orange livery.
Allis-Chalmers ED40, and that is an Essendine Stamford tractor, and that was Allis-Chalmers' last effort of a wheel tractor to be built in England. The interesting feature is there that that's also fitted
Another Fordson Major.
23C diesel engine, as in the Fordson and 35, but it would start in the Allis-Chalmers because it had a heater plug in each cylinder. Number 68, ERA 655C, is a 3-cylinder David Brown 880 Implomatic, with the hunting pink colour and the yellow wheel. It wasn't red, it was hunting pink. Thank you very much, sir. 46.
Another one coming in here, the Fordson Major. Fordson Super Major.
For the name of the driver, and this is Mr. Michael First, complete with top hat there. The age-related number WSJ 836. The Dexter was introduced in 1957. The Fordson Major gets a work rate. That was the advertising, and a very good little tractor it was. I said earlier that it competed against the 35 4-cylinder and made inroads into that market. 69 is David Brown's Selectomatic 880 with Sheffield registration, 1966 plate, and complete with Bicon or Valley Bicon Acrobat 8-turner on the back, and complete with David Brown's own cab, safety cab. TRA 4F 135 with a Derbyshire registration, and complete with the mounted massive Ferguson finger bar mower on the back there, supplied at some stage, I would think when new, by Winter and Stevenson, which have depots in Newark, Mansfield and over at Tideswell here. 28, the bigger brother to the 135, 165, in totally excellent condition and complete with a safety cab there that looks as though
They're going around there, leaving the ring to allow for other tractors to come in.
Yeah, the two-door cab. 165 was the third longest in the 100 series. 130, 135.
Leaving the ring here.
165.
Dog looking on there.
175 and later 185. So a nicely restored one there. Complete with safety cab. The early 135s came out with shell wings. And the later
A lot of enthusiasm here. A lot of people around the main ring here. I'd hope.
And we've got Millie here on this 135.
So tractors come in here.
That has a roll bar.
Said to be over 100 tractors here today.
If you employ somebody to drive a tractor and pay them, you must have
Or
a roll
expected
bar.
100 tractors.
Don't pay
There you are, you see some got a roll bar here for safety. Oh yeah, you don't pay the volunteer, you haven't got to have a roll bar.
Put them on a tractor without a roll bar or a safety cab, you're actually infringing the law. 64.
Certainly if you're paying them apparently.
FRA. Another registration in Derbyshire. The driver of this one is Mr. Philip Hurst. And the 900 superseded the 25C, 30C, 25D and 30D. They weren't very successful.
Into gear there.
Because like the 4-cylinder 35, they had the CAV DPA pump, which was a rotary pump, not an inline pump, and they gave a few problems initially, so they actually went back to making the 30D while they ironed the problem out. Number 63.
And further David Brown models here.
25D, which that model superseded. This one is owned and driven by Adrian West.
We have coming in here, we have the case.
That was a very late built tractor, or he's had an engine swap in his life.
Took over international as well. You see a lot of international around.
Between a 25 and 30 to a front master is that the driver sits astride the transmission. Number 29 is Stuart Waddington on a Massey Ferguson 135, and this one at some time was supplied by a Massey Ferguson dealer, FA Standard of Fort Hill, Ealing, Cambridge. Standard is still in business today.
Moving on around the ring there. The case here.
In Ferguson, Massey Ferguson. That's 1970 on the 8.
One for 1394C reg,
number 39,
mid 80s.
An X.
Others coming out here.
Could be a Navy tractor. We think it's a Navy tractor because of the registration number on the back there, 527RN, Royal Navy. And it's an ex-industrial Fordson, complete with all its features. It's got the headlights on the brackets.
Max Ferguson overalls there as well.
Battery under there.
Perhaps he used to work from.
The lights and the dynamo, and it's even got a Dunford fire extinguisher on the side, which the armed forces would put on tractors used in the military. Thank you, David. He's had a bit of a problem with the float on the way here, but we've sorted it out. With just a bit of blue tack. So that's hopefully stopping the float going to the bottom and stopping the tractor. Number 38, that's 1941 Wartime Fordson, and these were the tractors that helped win the war, fed the nation. This would of course been on front and steel wheels when it came new, and as soon as farmers could get them onto pneumatics, they would do. It's got Fordson front wheels and Kerry 24-inch rear wheels. Thank you very much. Now after the 100 series,
Well, that's the 39, so the one he was talking about
the
is the
5
one
series came out and replaced them.
down there,
And
I'd say.
number 35 here,
38 they're being down there.
Mr. Chris Hadfield, and this one is a 4-wheel
Just been spoken about.
version, and it's also been turbo with an Amigo turbo on there. You'll notice the single door cab. You'll also notice the Massey Ferguson 122 mower on the back, again supplied by Wartime Stevenson. New Mansfield on there, and the mowing machine looks to be in rigid condition, and the tractor.
Meanwhile, more coming in here. The case. The case, there we are.
So it's a later one with the 2-door cab, yes. The early ones had a 1-door cab, and of course the tractor rolled over
5610 Ford here.
and it was difficult for the driver to get out. He had to get out either through the back window or
F registration there, late 80s and the 8340.
The bigger model, number 36, 2720.
One there and the 5600.
Perkins diesel in there, and this one owned and driven by, again, it says Mr. Chris Hadfield, so that's what it says in the paper. Looks to be in original X-Farm condition, and again complete with Massey Ferguson 3-furrow conventional plough. Thank you. 3095. Massey Ferguson, number 37.
There goes the 590.
And again with
the mower.
shift.
Just been spoken about.
Hydraulic.
Commentator there.
4-wheel drive, 6-cylinder, safety cab with heater and air conditioning. How things have moved on from the Ferguson T20 or Fordson Model N.
Leaving here. Allow for more to come in.
A short few years. Number 41.
Well, it might be 40 years if everything's changed. I think every decade they seem to change quite a lot. When you look at these tractors.
Now DKN stood for the K was for
5600.
and the model.
And that's an oil race. There we are.
Carried on. This was the
About 93, 94.
Introduced in December 1951. Again for the Smithfield show, and they brought them out in petrol, TVO,
Commentary is down there.
and diesel. The TVO model lasted until 1957.
The commentator.
And number 42, we've got a
Couldn't see him just
diesel
now.
version behind. And of course there was a big push in the middle 50s, hence the big D on the bonnet of the tractor. Very, very good tractor indeed, the new Fordson Major. A real step forward. And you can see
Fordson Major.
quite a number of those. Number 43, keep it going please. Number 45 as well. Do be careful with everybody on there. Just remember, it's very easy to fall off. Be careful.
Meanwhile, coming in at the
Health and
7610,
safety,
the 7610.
There we are.
The Ford here.
With a winch on the back there. Obviously drop that down on the hydraulic, and that acts as an anchor.
The 4600 with the trailer.
Dexter with live drive. Everybody thinks that the live drive, Dexter, Super Dexter and Super Majors all had live drive as standard. That was not the case. A lot of things on these tractors in that era were extra. Live drive being one of them. Now we've got a conversion here, number 51, with a 6-cylinder engine in a Fordson Super Major. The Super Major came out in 1960 and continued until June 63. And talking about June 63, we move on to number 52. And we see Carl Holmes.
And here comes the John Deere.
6-7
The old John Deere 3050 to 3050 in the John Deere.
Performance Fordson Super Dexter, introduced in June 63.
It's an American tractor,
September 64.
still being made to this day.
This one supplied by Ogle of Ripley in Derbyshire. It's been resplendently restored in
The Marshall here, the Marshall, seems taken on by Leyland. Sadly, it's all been demised
and of course, I'm pleased to say
when they had to cut back over the probably late 70s, early 80s, sadly.
80 odd years. I've just read a book, 75 years of Teagle, which is most enlightening.
The Marshall 804.
One of the things that Newark Tractor Show
Sunroofer.
in November.
Here comes the meanwhile the
new
Allis-Chalmers here.
Dexter, Super Dexter, and Super Major. Everybody thinks when the Super Dexter came out, the ordinary Dexter was dropped. That is not the case. They continue side by side. Number 50.
The massive Ferguson North out here.
Super Major.
The big contrasting larger models moving on to the decades here.
Owned by Philip Salisbury.
80s and 90s.
And been in their family ownership for a long time and registered in Lincolnshire. Bring it on.
The difference in size, the contrast in size there.
Early Super
Commentary
Major,
on down there.
still with the blue and orange wheels and with the 3 spoke front wheels that came out on the Power Major the model before. But a very nicely restored
Tractor 37 meanwhile, the impressive tractor. Massive Ferguson 3095.
49 is a new performance Super Major with the later colours of blue and grey like the Super Dexter we saw a few minutes ago. 53 is a 4000 ERR 483C, I think it is, a 433C. So that makes it 1965, an early one. The 4000 was the third of the range. It was 2000 Dexter, 3000 Super Dexter, 4000 Major, 5000 Super Major on the early tractors. And of course,
Then we're coming in here, the David Brown 880.
to get you used
Meanwhile,
to the colours of the World range, which came out, as I said, in December 64. And a new attraction.
David Brown Cropmaster here, the David Brown Cropmaster.
Definitely a theme, along with the 100 series Massey Ferguson as well. Can't believe the
Here Marshall Diesel. Small tractor, well, the garden tractor and the David Brown here. The custom white.
So we saw a restored
McCormick International here, McCormick International.
See an unrestored 5000. Some people like them painted, other people like to keep them as they are. And this one is owned and driven by Stephen Michael. And there we see that Ford sticker there.
Meanwhile, the others leaving here.
Was soon dropped.
With more to come in here, including the JCB.
Drivers pointed it out, but I've spotted it. Is the selector speed, which was an alternative to the floor change with a standard gear lever and a high and low lever. The selector speed, you can work through a number of gears, big like automatic transmission, in forward or reverse. Now the correct terminology is selector speed, but in the trade it was known as jerk-o-matic. Because people went like this, up and down with the lever. They gave problems because people didn't nurture the thing. Ford never perfected it quite to the end, and they sold the patent to John Deere, and John Deere perfected it on the 40-20 and 50-20s. Typical of the English to sell something that could be a real winner. GW 790, Fordson, first Fordson major introduced in 1945.
I would say Ford probably.
To 1952.
Ford of Britain was that Ford of America.
Driven by Ken Green from Hollymore side near Chesterfield.
American company Ford anyway.
Paraffin, same engine virtually as the Model N and the same gearbox, but with a different back end. The government wouldn't allow Ford to retool because of war shortages. So this was very much a stopgap model tractor. They built a utility tractor which had a fixed front axle.
The International here.
Model with virtually all the extras.
International 1055.
Electric start, electric lights, road crop, PTO, no PTO, but power lift. 72 is a David
International,
Brown,
there we are. V-Red.
770 Select-O-Matic 12-speed. So that means he's got 3 gear levers.
Still more to come in here. I've just looked around here.
And that's
more
the 3-cylinder version.
Lovely.
And of course,
Is that the Austin?
with
There's
the
an Austin here.
white and chocolate brown livery. Bowlands of America who used this livery as David Brown in 1965. Would you paint your tractors
No, it's not. I don't.
livery
Certainly.
to the American market?
Very interesting tractor.
And for a year, they
Crop
did
master
that.
there.
You see how it went.
Never seen an Austin tractor before today.
66,
But there's certainly one here.
you can see
Been brought back from the Pyrenees, wherever it might be in the store.
73 again.
Looks very similar to this tractor in front of me here. And the JCB coming in here.
73 is owned by Mr. David Osborne, and 74 is owned by Mr. Peter Nixon. Keep them moving. And as I said, in 1972, the parent company of Case, which was Silico, bought out David Brown and continued with the Orchid White and more of a black chassis, but with the Case Flambeau Red wheels. And here we see the David Brown badge on the front with the Case on the side. Keep it coming, please. And it's the 1394 model, complete with the David Brown Explorer cab. 1985 on the seatplate. 83, the Burgess tractor, FH Burgess, had a lot of dealerships all over the country for many years and specialised in International and David Brown. This one's shown by Ryan Colmer, the 1294, a smaller version to the other one.
Red flag there.
86, we move on to Case International.
Case down the meanwhile by the commentator.
In 1985 approximately, bought International.
There we are,
from
1985.
America and England, and badged them Case International as they still are today. That one's painted yellow, which would signify it was used by a highway or borough council.
I was thinking that.
59.
Some of them were yellow. They painted the tractor yellow.
True blue boards, a 567
There's the boards.
Series 2, which basically is only one up from a 5000, but complete with Ford's own cab, F registration, Lincolnshire registration, JTL. Then of course Ford was swallowed up. They decided they didn't want to be in the lorry market.
You had another David Brown Select-O-Matic here.
So eventually, after the 340 and similar models,
Interesting motorhome on the back, or is it a caravan? I'm not sure.
Holland Ford for a time.
Probably a caravan,
Ford was dropped
or some sort of catering vehicle, I'm not sure.
340
Well, there it is.
is 6-cylinder.
We have coming in behind here another 135.
Four-wheel drive as we see it, and hydraulics on the back. And And again,
the box on the back here.
Tractor UFW, Elbridge. 56, Ford 5,600. Followed on from the 5,000, we saw the 5,600.
And we have another 135.
Followed on from this, and this one provided when it was new by Harris Limited of Celtic.
Looks like
and Harris had a lot of
grass cutting tyres there, certainly not the proper standard tractor tyres.
It became Flats Harris. 7610, number 58.
David Brown 995. The box on the back.
Owned by Sean Lomas, in totally original condition. Seen some service, but looks as though it's had a reconditioned engine at some time.
885.
With porous blocks. That means that the water leached out of the block, and the only thing we could do was to replace the engine. 57, the 4600, which replaced the 4000 model. Again with Ford double cabs, it was now a very, very good cab indeed. And supplied by RC Edmondson, the Ford dealer. They were car dealers in Retford, where I come from at one stage.
David Brown 990.
With the Weeks trailer, 3-ton Weeks trailer with grain hatches on the back there. Number 97. Tractor very dear to my heart. Philip Brennan is the owner of this tractor. It's the John Deere 3050. And I sold John Deere's for Maltby's of Newark for a couple of years in the very early 90s. And this was the range that I had to sell. 3050, 3350 and 3650. And they were bomb-proof. 6-cylinder engine, absolutely wonderful. 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive, and of course with the very good cab there, single door cab, but very good vision, excellent hydraulics, and that's a Shropshire tractor, E761 TUX.
Just a quick break, just to let people know that the sheep shearing is taking place at 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock, sorry. Yeah, the sheep shearing down by the sheep section.
Leaving the ring here.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the Marshall down. There's the Marshall.
The 2-wheel drive version would be called the 802, the 4-wheel drive the 804 for obvious reasons. Now this was the last effort. If you look at this tractor, you can see Nuffield and Leyland all day long. But this was the last effort, built latterly at Scunthorpe and Gainsborough. The old Marshall works at Gainsborough, Britannia Works, and it's 175 years since William Marshall started in Gainsborough.
Dave Brown 885 meanwhile.
So this is a legacy to that pioneer.
The interesting history for Marshall here. And Nuffield, of course, Leyland as well.
Same as the one on the 13 series David Brown. Number 67, a very original David Brown 880 in 4-cylinder form of this era, and that one is driven by, or is owned by Alan Honestcroft.
David Brown here. The loader.
Here we have the Cropmaster number
And a box there.
61. And I mentioned this when we saw the 25.
International 454.
25 gone to single seat. But David Brown forgot to put the steering wheel back in the middle. It's still offset like the Cropmaster. And this is the Cropmaster
Coming in here.
introduced in 1947. So had the 75th anniversary last year. Cropmaster followed on from the V8K1, a very, very usable tractor indeed. First in petrol paraffin form, and then in 1949 in diesel form.
Behind here, a Renault tractor.
Engine indeed, and this one owned and shown by Mr. John Lee. And you'll notice the CAB flat
truck here.
We've got
Zeta.
the Field Master, and it's basically a look-alike of a Field Marshal. The exhaust shape is right for a Series 2, even with the correct smoke of a Field Marshal. Well done, sir. Thank you. 81. It's a case. David Brown, keep it going, please, keep it going. And again, with the flambeau red.
Another import here, the Zeta.
The orchid white of David
Or
Brown.
Zeta.
And the chocolate brown on the engine.
Massey
gearbox
Harris.
transmission. B275, number 89.
744.
Mr. Chris Walker.
Here comes the
Beautifully
Marshall 804 leaving here.
These tractors were never made at Wheatley Hall, Doncaster. They were made at the Bradford Jowett Works, Idle Works in Bradford, B250 from 1956, and then the B275 followed on. Two of them today.
Two drivers there.
One fully restored and one virtually in
Seemingly.
XR. Thank you. So the smaller tractors all made at Bradford, the bigger models, Farmall M, BM, Super BMD, B450, 614 and 634 at Doncaster. And then we have the 1055, which would be built abroad.
There's your international commentary down there, if you can keep up with it.
Probably the best tractor that International's ever made was the 956 and the 1056 that followed on from this model. Absolutely marvellous with that 6-cylinder engine of their own manufacturer. If you go over there, you'll see the Seddon Atkinson 401 lorry, which has the same engine, or virtually the same engine as in this tractor. Thank you.
Same as the Seddon Atkinson engine, there we are.
And the stationary engine.
Interesting fact.
There's a good lineup of them over there, and of course the vintage cars, which you'll see in the ring later.
Ah,
104.
They are coming in, that's interesting.
It's
Debate
Mr. Chris
people were unsure.
with a Vineyard Austin.
Not in the programme.
French Vineyard Austin. Narrow and low to go.
There's the
under
Vineyard
trees
Austin
or
here.
Between
Brought it back from the
mines.
Pyrenees down
Been
there.
seen here many times and a winner here many times.
The Austin tractor.
1929. Running very well today. Herbert Austin, of course, built Austins in England, but couldn't compete with Fordson, so he set up a factory in France and seemed to be able to compete over there in totally original ex-French farm condition. Thank you very much.
There you are. So that's what happened.
A labourer
Made in
here.
France.
Somebody has restored this JCB Sidemaster loader
Behind the
tractor and back into the
JCB.
3CX, which was a very popular model, back to original condition when it came out of the factory, or it might even be better. And it's owned by K-Plant of Sheffield. And it's the Turbo Plus model, so the engine has a turbo.
Sell out again here, mercifully.
62 XRE 640 is a David Brown petrol paraffin crop master. You carry on, sir. Thank you.
There we are, the Dave Brown behind there.
And this one owned by John Goat. He usually drives these tractors for
That's the
these
crop master
shows.
that Dave Brown can
Have you
get.
driven it today?
Anyway, here comes the Austin.
Oh, shame on you. You're only a stone's throw today. I've known this gentleman drive it to Ashover and all sorts of
Due to
places.
the vineyards, that
But there we have
Austin tractor in the Pyrenees.
petrol paraffin version of the famous Cropmaster. We saw the diesel one earlier.
I have spoken to the owner, brought it back in a van.
An engine transplant. Yeah. Since I last saw it. Well done. 75. Keep it coming.
I think it's about 12,
On
18
the
months
time
ago.
limit.
Brought back here. The Austin tractor.
Martin Pinder with a David Brown 990 Selectomatic.
Get the digger here.
complete with roll bar there, and additional weather protection and caravan behind, so that you can stop in a lay-by and make a cup of tea. So there we go. Number 30.
And that crop master there.
Owned and driven by Mr. Jeff Walker. And he tells me this is an Irish cab, come from Southern Ireland, and put on the tractor. So there we are. Can't think of a joke to do with an Irish cab, but there we go. Thank you, Jeff. Nicely restored version, 1970 on the H. Number 31, Tim Boothman again, with a 135, complete with roll frame on the tractor and lawn tyres or grass tyres for mowing.
Now there are lawn tyres, there we are.
Number 80. Mr. Philip Adey in a David Brown 995, DB David Brown, just before Case took them over, one of the very last, and complete with David Brown's own cab. And look at the slimness of the door. It's a good job.
Nice
Mr.
condition
Adey
135s.
because a larger person would not get through those doors. Keep it going. Keep it going. Very, very narrow indeed. And fitted with a Foster transport box on the back. West Yorkshire registration, AWU 648K. 79 is Mr. Adam Knight, again with an 885. Keep coming with the same cab. Now we saw the MB track earlier. This is a bigger version, the MB 1800. And
the import there.
MB tracks are all owned by the Walker family. Keep it going. And again, that's been restored
Cup there.
to quite a high level. And of course, they're very useful on the road because they will do a fair speed. 77, David Brown 990. Owned and driven by Ben Mosley. 78. Andrew Chadwick with an 885, this time with no cab, can't see the number, but a 1200, which was the biggest at that time. Could never understand why they didn't fit a 6-cylinder engine in that, with plenty of room under the bonnet. Number 90 is Peter Walton with an International 454.
The International 454
in 1972, and the 454 was the 52 horsepower model, complete with safety cab and the controls and gears on the right hand side. Very, very good tractor. 103, 1928. International McCormick.
An early tractor here, very early.
30, owned by Tim and Charlie Smith, in totally original condition, very rusty but not rotten, and running very, very nicely. 4-cylinder overhead, petrol paraffin engine, 15 horsepower at the drawbar, 30 horsepower at the pulley. Keep it going, Charlie, and you'll notice the front and rear steel wheels, which was a standard feature in 1928.
Renault, the French import.
Something completely different.
Renault
D22, built of course in France by Renault, the car maker. And you can see the European system there. There's a rail on both sides of the wings, and an operative could sit on either side or both sides, and that was law in France and European countries, and that on owned by Ian Webster. Thank you. 038 Zeta 5211. Now in 1965, these tractors came through King's Lynn. Concessionaires brought them into the port of King's Lynn. All the British manufacturers sort of laughed and said they'll never take on. But Zeta are still here today, whereas a lot of the British manufacturers aren't. So they did something right. I went
Unfortunately.
an international 634 to Zeta Crystal in the late 70s, and it was like getting the wrong price. 106, a Massey Harris 744.
Massey Harris.
PD Perkins diesel. P6, designed and built by Frank Perkins of Peterborough. In America, it was the 44, which was 4-cylinder petrol, but they sent over the gearbox, the back end, the engine tray there, the bonnet and everything, and in Kilmarnock or Manchester, the engine was grafted into that tractor, and a very good tractor they were. This is the long wheelbase version. Thank you. We'll move on very swiftly to the winners.
Here we are. Winners here today at Hope Show.
So we've got a lineup for you this afternoon. Which one are we going to start with?
Sorry, you're going to sit down.
David Marsden is the winner for his industrial Fordson 5427 RN in original condition, and it's the best pre-1945 tractor and a very worthy winner. A very nice thing indeed.
Lovely
Well
tractor
done,
there.
man. And next in the line, number 23,
Great tractor.
Kieran Hollinray, which is for the special Ferguson, which is a 35X,
35X.
complete with rear finger bar motor. Ladies and gentlemen, boys
motor on
and
the back.
girls, come on, give these winners a round of applause. They
Round of
really
applause,
do
yeah.
deserve it. As do all the exhibitors here. And another very well deserved, with the oldest tractor on the field,
In third
the
here.
1919 Garland. Excellent.
The Garland
Come on,
there.
Tim. Thank you very much.
Third place.
Come on, give him a round of applause. It's not hard work. It's not as hard work as commentating. And then number 55, best featured tractor, is the Ford 5000. Keith Scott, well done, sir. Excellent. Come on, round of applause. And Mr. David Walker with his MB track 1100. Well done, young man, for taking the court. No, it's your other hand. That's it. Well done, David. Thank you. Number 66. I think I registered this tractor. I did.
The David Brown.
Mrs. Stiles. Second overall, but you don't get an award.
Oh, shame.
Get a rosette.
Who was that there, man?
Anyway, last
It's the taking part.
Ferguson
Ferguson T20.
T. Smith with the Ferguson TD20.
TD20.
The Scottish Aviation cab and accommodation behind. Yeah. Well done, sir. Well done.
Well done.
And we must say a big thank you to Richard Montpulse for doing all the entries and doing all the organisation, and Mr. Peter Henson for all his effort that he puts in here at
It's like dropping out there, but there we are. I think we get the gist of it.
this afternoon.
Thank you
very
to them
much
all.
indeed. Hope to
Dogs
see
looking
you
on
again
here.
next year.
And they're off.
Thank you.
The winners here. Well done to them. Here at Hope Show.
So that concludes the tractor display, and could we have a round of applause for Nick for giving a very informative description of vintage tractors.
David Brown, others coming out here, all the others. Garland there. Fordson, Massey Ferguson's. mercifully mostly British made. The awards here. Vintage Fordson here. The later Fordson Super Major, the Ford Super Major there. They dropped the Fordson name for the preference for Ford by then, of course. And that D20 here. Interesting cabinet there, and the pulling some form of trailer there, some form of trailer. And the import MB here at Hope Show.